Hey guys, it's Lauren here, popping in today to share with you a layout I'm creating as part of the Hip Kit Club design team. And I was challenged by the team to do a mixed media layout using one of the fabulous stencils we got in our November kits. So I chose that super sweet little star stencil there to add some feature on my layout that I'm creating for you today. Now, the other thing that I thought I would do is I would show you how using these beautiful Christmassy November kits, you can create a layout that's not Christmas themed. I had these photos of my gorgeous girl and her little best friends. They all came for a birthday party sleepover, and I wanted to document that. And I looked at these kits and they're full of Christmas goodies, and then I thought, I'm going to have a good look and see what I can do here. And so I've managed to create a layout that isn't Christmas themed using all the Christmassy products that we got in our kit. So hang in there with me and see how I pull this one off. I know a lot of you guys are doing December dailies and things like that, which is perfect for these kits. But if you're a little bit like me and have special occasions at the end of the year, like birthdays and other significant events, this might be a way you can create a layout using your November kits and manage to document a non-Christmas themed moment. So as you can see, I've picked out that beautiful light grey wash wood grain, and I'm going to use that as my base page. And I use the strip, the title strip, and I just cut that off the bottom and cut it in half and just put it on the side there. And I thought that would just sort of direct your focus to look at the center of the page. I'm using a beautiful soft pink plain cardstock there in the middle, which is from the Basil company, and it's a textured one. It's not a smooth one. And the interesting thing I found when tearing it was it has multiple layers in this paper. So when you tear it, you can actually see multiple layers coming through on your edges, which was a really lovely kind of surprise little bonus there for me when I tore that, because I don't think I'd be able to create that effect without that multi-layer being within that paper. So beautiful high quality Basil cardstock has given me that extra little bit of a bonus there. It's hard to see because of the light that I work under. It sort of washes out a little bit of the detail of my layouts, but we don't want to look at dull scrapbooking process videos or dark ones, do we? So I've just here used some Liquitex white gesso, just the stuff that I have in my stash. Usually on my layouts I use clear gesso, but I thought because I've got a really light pastel theme, it could probably handle with a bit of a white wash over that light pink paper anyway. So I just applied that just using my rubber little palette thing there, and then I thought it looked too like the edges were too sharp, so I just grabbed a baby wipe and I just blended out those edges of the gesso just to soften that transition from the white to the pink. And because I applied so much gesso, I knew that I would have a bit of wiggle room, that I still could apply more mixed media and the gesso would still do its job, but I'd be able to sort of blend out those edges by pulling a little bit of the product off, and it still would be okay and do its job like the gesso job. So here I am. I'm just using some of the Pocket Life cards that we got in the Pocket Life kit just to add some borders around my photos. And as you can see, they're Christmas themed, but just by using them to map my photo, I've been able to just stick with that colour themes of the pinks, the greys, and that little light teal colour. And I've managed to be able to hide all those Christmas little moments there on this layout. So just fiddling around there. I usually have a smaller border. As you know, if you're a regular to my channel, you'll see that I love mounting my photos with lots of layers, and so building layers and clusters and dimension off my pages is usually sort of a signature Lauren move. So here I am trying to do that. I've just used a little tool there. I've had that little distressing tool in my stash for many years, but it came out by Prima, and it's just sort of does wonders when you're just wanting to rough up the edges of your pages. In our November kits, we got two absolutely beautiful Lindy Stamp Gang magical powders, and they are in the colours of Cuckoo Clock Cardinal, and this other one is Umpapa Pink, and that is the Umpapa Pink is what you see I've used there just to apply over the top of that white gesso, just with a few splatters here, and just to create another point of texture for my layout. Now here I am thinking, I've got this stencil, how am I going to incorporate this in this layout and not take away from what I'm really wanting to do? It is so funny that when I scrapbook and I've got a bit of an idea, everything comes together so smoothly. But sometimes I sit down and I just start scrapbooking with no idea, and those layouts I find that I really struggle with. So this one, I've really got some clear ideas about what I wanted to do with it. And so I feel like I'm just sort of on a roll. I'm just cruising along. It doesn't really matter. I've got this idea in my head where wherever I put my embellishments, it's gonna work because the idea is very clear in my head. Do you guys ever find that? Where do you guys get your inspiration from? Do you get it from Pinterest, Instagram, other YouTubers? Where do you get your ideas from? Is it out in the world? Is it through your moments? I'd be really interested to know where you get your primary source of inspiration that assists you to put your layouts together. So share with me in the comments below where that is for you, and I look forward to reading about it, and hopefully there's some places there that I've not heard of, and I will tap into a new source of inspiration as well there. So in the November kits, we got these gorgeous frames from Pretty Little Studio, and they were Christmas themed, except these little silver ones I'm putting on now. So by tucking the edges in, I've just hidden those Christmas florals that were on the edges, so you can only see the silver foiled pieces there. And here I am, I'm just framing up using a few more of those just to create that real theme running through top and bottom, side to side. Now here, whilst I was doing all those frames, I'm thinking, how am I going to nail this challenge? And that is to use this stencil and some mixed media. And I thought, how cute would it be just to tuck those little tiny stars in under those pages? Once again, it created another level of dimension, and between my base page and my pink cardstock. So it did that job, and it also did the job of making a sweet little detail that I absolutely adore. That stencil, when I first saw it, I thought, oh my goodness, all those stars are so tiny and they're really close together. I worry with those types of stencils at times that they're not going to work, or you won't be able to see that really clear definition. But this stencil, it did not have that effect at all, and those stars are so sharp and so cute and so close together that this stencil has now turned into one of my all-time favourites, and you'll probably be seeing me use it on lots and lots of upcoming process videos, because I just thought this is just the most adorable little stencil. That stencil came in a 2-pack, which was in the December Daily December documented kit from the Hip Kit Club. So if you're still thinking about which kit to get to document your December and your Christmas moments, check that out. I'll put the link to the Hip Kit Club website below in the description, so if you want to head over there and check out all these wonderful goodies that I'm using, please do, because you will be blown away. So here I am now, I'm adding my title, and I just called it Something Wonderful, because these girls, they are just wonderful, and they are such a joy. And I know that these photos, having older children, I know how important these photos are when they're young, because you really delight on these little moments when they get older. And so I try to capture as many of these little moments when the girls are all over playing for those future reasons, and just to see them grow and their little smiles, and it's lovely. These little bows are the Hip Kit Club exclusive bow sets. We've had these in a previous kit in different colours, obviously, but they are so sweet. You can compile them in all the same colours, or you can mix and match them like I've done there, just to create a little bit of interest. And, you know, I guess make them a little bit of a feature. So once again, I like to work in threes. So 3 little bows are going to get made. I'm just going to strategically place them around, and they will just add that little extra sweetness to highlight this little moment with the girls. Yeah, so what do you think? What do you think of this non-Christmas themed layout using all these Christmas kit products? Do you think I've nailed it, or do you think this has a bit of a Christmassy vibe? The other thing is, I'm here in Australia, and at the moment we are experiencing extreme heat. So sometimes when we're using products that have come from overseas, and the companies that have developed them are in their coldest winters, we get a bit of we have to use products that are cool themed, like winter themed, and so we try, and it's a tricky balance because there's not many companies that are out there doing Aussie Christmas themed scrapbooking products. So that's another kind of challenge us Aussies sort of have to face. And some of these wintry, wonderful colours in summer don't really suit. So that was another kind of thing that I'm trying to balance when I'm using these Christmas kits, is trying to document our December, but make sure it's not Frosty the Snowman, because we don't even know who Frosty the Snowman is. He doesn't touch our Christmas at all. The poor Santa's helpers, the Santas in the shopping centres, I have no idea how they sit in those wonderful suits and have photos all the time with the kids. They must just be sizzling. But we do what we have to do here in Australia to keep the Christmas spirit alive. The other gorgeous little embellishment that we got in these the November kits were these little kind of glass, they're quite thick. They're like little mirrored glass stars, and I knew that they would be just perfect just to add that final little embellishment and make this layout a little bit magical. And I think they just did the trick. If I could buy these in bulk, I definitely would. I just thought they were delightful, and my theme of that pink, that light teal, the grey, the white, what a great colour combo this layout has turned out to be. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to put ask in the comments below, and I'll check in with you guys. I'm pretty sure this layout's pretty straightforward, and if you're interested in using this as an inspiration, I think it'll come together really easily for you. And I guess the other thing is, let me know, have I done this? Have I aced that non-Christmas themed layout with all these Christmas kits? I'd love to hear from you. All right, guys, I hope that you like this layout, and I'll be back again really soon with a new video to share with you. Take care. Bye.